Ustaz Rahwood and all others. I am so grateful to be invited for this occasion, and my greetings especially to Abdul Hamid Sulaiman's daughter Mona, who really made us all emotional. Not only you are emotional, but we are all emotional on this particular day. Why I am here? Why you invited me? I suppose that I am not as handsome as some are, but the reason why I am here is because we who are not born in Mecca, we always look at those who are born in Mecca specially. They have a special meaning for us. So, if Prophet Muhammad was born in Mecca, and God has made him rahmatan lil alameen. So, I think that Ustaz Abdul Hamid Sulaiman is barakatan lil alameen. And this is why I am here. Because he was born in Mecca, but God has blessed us with his barakah all over the world in some way, like rahmah, mercy of the Prophet Muhammad who was born in Mecca. I met Professor Abdul Hamid Sulaiman in 1987 when I was invited by a businessman from Malaysia, Haji Anwar Hamdan, who came to Zagreb Mosque when I was Imam, and he was impressed by European Imam. I just came from Chicago, PhD, and then he asked about Islam and Muslims in ex-Yugoslavia, and then he wanted me to come to Malaysia to introduce me to Malaysia as somebody from Europe who is not immigrant, but who is the indigenous Muslim in Balkan and so on. So I came here for a week. I was received here by high-level royalty of Shangri-La Hotel and everything. And then he made a list of people that I should visit and see. Among them were the rector of the university. And when I entered the office of Rahimahullah Abdul Hamid Sulaiman, he received us as if he knew us for a long time, even though we were meeting for the first time. So he did not waste time to say this and that. He just said, this university is open for you students. Send all of them. We are going to receive them. And this is how my relationship became. I was not ready for this. Then when I went back, then I was searching for students, and then whoever we sent here to the students, they were received by scholarship, everything. And Abdul Hamid Sulaiman was the father rather than just the rector. Now, since we had this, I met also Professor Najib Al-Attas at the time, and he was about to initiate the ISTAC. I am glad that the director of ISTAC is here. I am child of ISTAC. I'm very much connected. And then we invited Najib Al-Attas to Zagreb for the international symposium that I initiated in Zagreb. He came, we come to closer, he visited Sarajevo, he was impressed, everything. It was all new for them. And this Tabung Haji. Tabung Haji were travel making organization to travel all around the world. Malaysian Muslims were searching and checking Muslims all around the world by Tabung Haji. So as we became closer, Professor Al-Attas invited me for visiting professor at ISTAC. I came 92, but in Bosnia the war broke. Then they called me on duty there. I left my family, all people in Malaysia, and I want you to know. Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim was the only Malaysian official at the time. He was finance minister, and he was president of the university, UIAM. He was the only Malaysian official who had the ear for Bosnian crisis. And he supported me personally. He supported this. So this is the first time I am bearing witness what Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim did for Bosnia, and this is the opportunity for me to say thank you to him. And also, you can imagine, I feel so great. I feel so honored to be today here on this occasion and to greet Malaysian people and their Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. May God bless you all, and may God bless Anwar Ibrahim, because of that we are here. You should know that. You should appreciate that. So, this is why I'm emotional. I wrote my paper. I hope you will have it. But I will, because it must be short, I would like to remind you that when I was preparing, I was trying to find some hadith and something from the Muslim tradition that could be applied to our dear father and our dear teacher, Abdul Hamid Sulaiman. And I found two. I found the hadith of the Prophet. It says, "Inna Allah fi awni al-abdi ma kana al-abdu fi awni akhihi." This is applicable to Ustaz Abdul Hamid Sulaiman. As long God is helping you, as long as you help your brother. And that was the rule and guidance for Abdul Hamid Sulaiman. He was born in Mecca, but he was a man of Ummah. He lived for the Ummah every moment, every second. The second application I found in the book of Imam al-Ghazali in Mishkatul Anwar. Ghazali was talking about this dervish or these Sufis, so when they lose their mind, some of the extreme Sufis and so on. And in this context, he said, "Sultan al-Aqli alladhi Mizanullah fi ardihi." This is the statement of Imam Ghazali. So you can translate this, and this is my translation, that the power of mind is the God's measure on earth. The power of human mind is the measure of God's measure on earth. And if you want to judge or to say short who was Abdul Hamid Sulaiman in intellectual area, because he was an activist intellectual. He was not only intellectual for intellect. No, he was the best intellectual among the activists. And he was the best activist among the intellectuals. So some activists will say that he is not enough intellectual because he's activist, And some activists would say he is not enough activist because he's too intellectual. No, I think he was a combination of these two. And this is what we need in our day and age. That you have, if you are working as an academic intellectual just for the sake of entertaining intellectual people, then it is useless. If you don't, because this is the difference between us Muslims, I think, and European, let's say, who say that the mind is the measure of everything, right? In Europe, they say that. The problem with us is that we are glorifying mind. When you read our great scholars, they say that God is appreciating the mind, we should, mind is fazilatul mind and so on. That's okay. But we don't know how to use the mind. unlike in Europe, they are not glorifying the mind. They are just using the mind to benefit of the natural law and everything what is there. So I think that what the message of Abdul Hamid Sulaiman, rahimahullah, was, please don't talk about the mind. Use it. Use it as it is and employ it in your practical things. This is what is mind for. It is not just that you glorify it, that we have the mind. So when I was very happy to be able to invite Professor Abdul Hamid Sulaiman to come to Sarajevo in 2010 as a guest to the forum that we were calling the Ummah Today. So we were inviting people from the Muslim world to Sarajevo to see what is going on in the living Andalusia. You know, you have dead Andalusia in Europe and you have living Andalusia. Andalusia lasted 8 centuries, right, in Iberia Peninsula. Bosnia is lasting 6 centuries in the peninsula of Balkan. So we have 3 centuries left, right? Or inshallah more. And I must say, I mean, he was saying before us when he visited, or I have so many students around the world, but I have never been received by welcome, by this kind of welcome as I was received in Bosnia. This was very much recognition for that. But then I said to him, well, our students went to many countries, but they were not received anywhere like they were received in Malaysia. So this is, you do good and you get good, okay? So this is why. I have his quotation here. It would be boring if I read to you, but I will leave it, probably it will be published. So what he said in his interview in Bosnia, which is the testimony, I think, of what I said about his mind, saying that we have in the Gazi Husreybeg Waqfnama, who built the mosque and the library and the madrasa and so on, and he said that in this madrasa, the teachers must teach the things that the time and place need. So when he came to Sarajevo, he repeated that intellectuals, Muslim intellectuals, must be the people who will work in the way that what the time and place need. So this is my homage to Abdul Hamid Sulaiman, and I feel so honored to be part of this memory on him. So may God have mercy on him, and may God give us more Abdul Hamid Sulaiman in the future. And I see in his daughter Mona that she is a good reflection, alter ego of her father. Assalamu alaikum.